J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. The program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Oh goodness, I'm already starting out good when I got Kamoji in chat, getting me straight. So it's gonna be a simple one today. I'm interested in this Emiru misgift drama, and I'm a little bit behind. I hear there's other stuff coming out. I hear rumors that Misgif is getting ready to drop fucking dirt on every streamer out there. So this is going to be, I think a shitstorm that is will be fun to watch as the OTK bunch probably burns themselves to the ground. But I wanted to take a look at it because some of the accusations are very serious with it, and I want to see, what's her saying, what's the other saying. I'm a very much a guy that I try and look at it from the information that I have. I am not a believe all victims person. If I think it sounds like bullshit, I'll call it out as such. But but yeah, that's kind of how it's been going. What are we going on here? What do we got going on? Oh, I just got back in. It's actually just me tonight, no one else. I am all lonesome by myself today. Uh, Went out to eat with a couple of buddies, so I'm just getting in to get chat back up and running. By the way, chat, how are y'all doing today? Everyone doing good? I hope so. I hope so. Had my first session of D&D too. Forgot to mention that. Had my first session of D&D. We ran through the first chapter. What's going on, Deadly Duke? How you doing? I saw your response chat to it. I just haven't made a response yet. So I'll say I threw you for the wrong loop and I kind of jumped ahead on it. So I want to go down that conversation path with you. But I played the first chapter of the Crooked Moon campaign, and loved it. The characters had a good time. The monk got drunk and couldn't fight for shit. They all almost died to the ghost train. It was a blast. So let's get started though for today. Like I said, it's going to be real simple, real easy. Whoops. Just going to go through the. I mean, I skipped ahead. I don't really care about all the stuff. All good, man. Different philosophy frames. Hey, I always like learning more about stuff, and it's interesting to talk with people. It's one thing I do like about X. Through all of the shit slinging back and forth, every now and again you find like one person, right? You find at least like one person you can have a conversation with. Sometimes it divulges into just slurs. Other times it gets more interesting. I could say one thing I like is I have people in my Discord and people around me that disagree with each other. Like Sigma and Simon go at it from time to time about their different views. Um, Sigma being really, really headstrong in the Christian beliefs. I would say more conservative on his side, and then Simon being the little wokey that he is. But like I said, Emiru recently put out allegations. There's been things coming around that said something big was coming. I think Asmongold made a comment about it. So we knew something was brewing. But now it's out, and we wokey. I'm sorry, Simon. Maybe you're not as woke as I. Well, I guess you're not as woke as I might have said you are. Lefty? You're more of a lefty, right? I hate vague posting. Yeah, it's like, why not just get to the heart of it or let it drop? Pigman, Pigman. Who are you calling a pigman, Simon? You need to be able to think clearly. If discourse dies, human thought dies. True. You're a centrist. Oh, I'm sorry, Simon. I forgot. You're an enlightened centrist. I agree. Deadly, I agree. You can't and it's so much fun to fight with people. I think personally, I like arguing with people. I don't get too heated too much. I might sound like I get heated when I talk, but for the most part, I enjoy it. Gonna play this Rimworld, this campaign I've been doing forever. I just need to play more games while I do it. I enjoy it. We love enlightened centrist. Of course we do, Kimoji. Especially Canadian ones, especially Canadians. What am I even fucking doing right now? Like all backwards. So I don't think I have to introduce Emiru. Like anyone who is chronically online knows who she is. One of the super large female streamer, part of OTK, all of that jazz. I didn't even realize she had dated Miskiff. I don't really pay attention to OTK all that much. I've seen a little bit with the like him hiding his friend or something like that, but I don't know much about that to say much. So this will be interesting to see what allegations she has.
Uh, I'm gonna be doing a lot of I guess you could say like fourth wall breaking in a way,
Why is it so quiet?
talking about things that
Hold on.
I thought would always.
Why are you so quiet? It's probably because I went and messed with my filters. Filters. No, it shouldn't be that. Ah, damn it. Old man at it again. I wouldn't say enlightened. I'm just the one who likes to point and laugh at both sides being stupid. I like to point and laugh at anyone being stupid. Like, it was funny to watch Angry Joe and Smash and Endymion. Well, it wasn't Smash. It was Endymion and Grums go at it. But I got to admit, like, Angry Joe is crashing out quite a bit with it. He's a little over the top. Let's try this now.
Be personal and just
Oh, I think I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on.
myself.
Probably have.
Today,
Yep.
I'm finally going to be opening up about
There we go.
psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Ms. Kiff has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and
Still ongoing is an interesting claim. I'm always skeptical about these online call outs for serious things like sexual assault and abuse and things like that. To me, it's always better to do it, the legal way, though that's not always there. 2025 drama is truly something. It is. So it always starts off skeptical. It's even more so when it's a woman. Like legit, it's all the celeb drama, but now bleeding into the populace online. So a lot of this drama, like there hasn't been a lot of drama for like the commentary community and places like that. So it's going to be interesting to see this actually come out, and this might turn into some more evergreen content for a while. We'll have to see what's actually going on with it though before we it may stop off quick, but it seems like there's about to be some shit getting thrown.
not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And
I'm sure.
I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today, and that it's
Ought to keep it private. Every time you speak, you could either hurt your case or open yourself up for defamation suits. Yeah, I mean, there's that side of it, but most of the time people don't end up going to jail for any of this. You might see a lawsuit. I mean, lawsuits amongst YouTubers has picked up recently thanks to like Ethan Klein going crazy with it. But it's just are you doing it because it's serious allegations? And I mean, you're not wrong, Duke. Or are you doing it because you just want to throw shit their way, right? When there's breakups in relationships, there's always, not always, there's almost always some heat between each other, and some people really like to throw shit. It's been really quiet for, I guess, a while since they've broken up. So we'll see if she explains why she's doing it.
It's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so, like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes.
That's at least you did that. I'll say at least do that. Like if you're going to do this, y'all know how I feel about people crying and stuff like that on line and on stream. And I mean, there's obviously niche cases for people who are talking about heavy stuff. But at least have a speech ready. Don't go in there, you know, guns half cocked. They all need to save face. All are very rich. Plus, most are a little on the narcissistic side. I think everyone who streams has some form of narcissism, or at least an ego that they want stroked online.
The most severe reason is,
I mean, Miskiff has been known to cover up SA allegations, and he's not denouncing any of the stuff he did either, just downplaying it. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that while watching Diesel's stream, where he's like focusing on some rabbit, which we'll probably get to that one tomorrow. But it doesn't look like he's denying any of it.
is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet, and I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't.
It makes me wonder. She says something about this that it sounds like the catalyst is someone who isn't a streamer that she knows had a similar situation. So it makes me wonder if there's something that's going on behind the scenes that could end up bad in Miskiff's favor. I think I saw a dumb Asmongold video where he was making a statement about Miskiff possibly going to jail by the end of this, mostly because he's crashing out, but it seems there's a lot of information that seems to be in the back that everyone else knows.
I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does.
Probably not.
Regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told
that's a kind of an insane statement, but isn't this something that's already known? Not at least this falls under his MO, right? There was kind of a thing if anyone talked about the guy who he was supposedly hiding the allegations for, that his fans and his group and all that, they would send them after him to kind of figure it out. So it kind of sounds like it might be falling on past behaviors. I know there's a lot more people that have been chronically online longer than I have, but it sounds too familiar.
Approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits since I had several.
Oh, so hold on. She said this first? She said this before he came out with the same allegations. Really? Holy fucking shit.
the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
Bro, she tried to kill him with plushies. It's over for her.
Now, it's publicly classified to talk to him, that this information made its way back to me, and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
Asma needs to shut the fuck up. A lot of this shit was with Miskiff was happening under his watch when he was still a major founder of OTK. Yeah, I remember that was the case. And while he still takes a back seat now, I still believe that he has a lot of pull around OTK on the back. On the back end.
Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on. I'm also
What the heck is this?
going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying.
Nice desktop, I guess.
I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later.
Okay, we got receipts. I like that.
To mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I asked.
Asma isn't clean any sense of the word. So it sounds like this is like absolutely a targeted ideal. Like she's been talking to people behind the back. Everyone's collaborating their stories together. A lot of people may take that as like a malicious intent, but you know, I guess we'll see. It's really going to depend on all of these allegations and how it plays out over the course of the next few weeks.
Ask people for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it.
I hate to tell you, that's exactly what people are going to do the moment you mention their names.
There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know.
It involves SA. Has she been to the cops yet? I don't know if that, I mean, I know at a certain point she mentions talking to lawyers. I'm pretty sure it was on this side. It may have been on the stuff I listened to before about the TwitchCon stuff, but I mean, it's a very good possibility. Not saying she deserves any of it, but didn't this dude have similar allegations and red flags before she got with him? Not the brightest idea. Well, his red flag wasn't that he himself was accused of it. It was someone else that he was protecting from it, right? He was actively going after people who were mentioning them or anything like that. At least that's what I remember from it.
You knew, and this, no, a lot of people, you know, didn't know everything.
Still, if you have, if you know that a guy has been actively defending someone who SA'd somebody, I don't know that that's the guy I'd want to date either. But you never know what it's like behind the scenes.
Or didn't know anything.
I like the victim blaming though, Blitz. That's nice.
I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start.
Tell me I went overboard.
So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry. I'm still sick, like I said. Okay. This is all public, obviously this part. I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021 because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together.
She's young, and he uses a manipulator. Most don't see it until after living through it. Oh yeah, 100%. I had a buddy who got into a really bad relationship because of it. And when I started explaining some of the things that I knew about, like, love bombing and narcissists, not that saying she was one, because I'm not an armchair guy. He was like, holy shit. It like clicked for him. Like there was so many things. Because I told him I didn't tell him he couldn't date her, but I was like, I don't have a good feeling about her. And it ended up to be true. But yeah, most of the time in abusive relationships, you don't know you're in an abusive relationship until it's too late.
And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022 after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate, and we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for
That's it.
feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone...
Sounds like she was kind of going through it too. For some reason, I feel like she has a significantly larger group of stalkers than other larger streamers. I don't know. Maybe it's just because she talks about it more. But I could understand being in that situation. Well, I can't. I'm a man. We don't get stalked. But yeah, what a mess for Twitch and the OTK legacy. Let's just hit after hit for Twitch. But I could see her being in a situation where this friend is offering her a place to stay. There probably were genuine feelings between them, and then it went, into this other direction.
Everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with.
Oh, he's one of those. Those are red flags, sweetie.
So, when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but
Okay. So yeah, it's so far we're talking about straight up physical abuse. It doesn't matter if he intended to hit with her or not. If you're throwing things at people, you're a physical abuser at that point. That's not even manipulation.
You know, was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah, it's
You say that, Grizzle, and I understand being that way, but usually the beginning of these relationships are very, very emotionally high, and you don't even realize it gets to that point until later. This isn't something that generally happens at the beginning of the relationship. This happens after the honeymoon period, and not a lot of people have the guts to go against it. Is that what he said, Blitz? Is that he threw it at the bed and just happened to hit her? Yeah, honeymoon phase, right.
it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just.
If he's throwing his phone for any fucking reason out of anger, he's got a problem he needs to go have looked at. That still counts to me as being an abuser if you're throwing it in the direction she's at and you hit her with it. Because you're not taking into account the people around you. You're just throwing something mad at something else. You're wanting to cause some kind of violence. Yeah, it takes a lot to break up with an abuser because you never know what they might do next. He needs his Xanax. Yeah, hey, I understand that. Honeymoon, all fucking and laughs. That's right, honeymoon is all fucking and laughs until the phones start flying.
At the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then
that's rough.
Again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which
as it does.
It makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent. If like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time, I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that unfortunately did not really happen. For a long time, I think about 1.5 years from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse, but I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
Well, hold on. It's a lot worse than him throwing a phone at you?
Things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it.
Some people can't be fixed. That's right, Redstain.
You know, chronically tapped in.
The problem with things like this is like you're not going to change unless you want to be changed, unless you want to make the change. No one can convince you to make it. People would like you to change, and they'll stick with you through the good and the bad, but not a lot of people do it. She might be the type to over nurture as an emotional response. I've seen that. Yeah, that could be it too. I mean, there's a lot of reasons when people get emotionally attached to somebody, especially if you start living together right at the beginning. Living with each other builds that closer connection. And poorer people, it's the financial connection that y'all get to. But I think even without that, even if you have that opening and the money to do it, it's still very hard to break away from that connection of being in a relationship.
And all that stuff. So for a long time after the cover up allegations happened and he was starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me.
Well, he didn't want to share fans.
To me at the time it made sense because I was like, well, of course, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better. It makes sense. But yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of things like events or sponsors.
I mean, here's the thing. This sounds very much like an ego thing. These people have tens of thousands of viewers while they're streaming. He's already won the game. I remember I was watching Diesel and he said he's already won the game. And apparently this guy has gotten mad that 5,000 people went to another YouTuber to watch or another streamer to watch. Are you really if you have 10, 20,000 people in your stream, what's with less? You're already, a millionaire at this point, and he probably would never have to work again a day in his life if he saved his money properly. So what's with the what's with this it's ego at this point? It's not about the money. He admitted to being obsessed about his numbers. Yeah, it's you're too far into it. Together is hard, apart is scary, or something like that. Sure, yeah.
Or just special things for a very long time, and a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit.
I mean, it sounds like she's starting with character assassination. Not necessarily in the bad way.
He's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. We're gonna have fun. I was really.
Yeah, I agree with you, Simon. Most of them are very frivolous with their money. I mean, there's tons of dead YouTubers that just have no money because they've spent it all. And yeah, I think everyone, like I said, I think everyone has somewhat of an ego or a little bit of narcissism in them to do this or to want to do this.
Really excited.
True, it does.
I start seeing in my chat people start.
Speaking of clout and money, if you haven't liked the chat, please go ahead and like the chat. Helps me out getting more people in here like y'all to talk with. If you like what you see watching here today, subscribe. I am 2 away from getting my 100 goal, kind of like my first goal. I never even thought I'd get that many. And if you're feeling super generous, I mention it, but it's never anything that's needed. I do have a coffee. It's stuff I spend on games and things like that I'll play on stream, because I do want to start digging into my bucket list so I can get some of them done before I die. But thank you, everybody, for being around, talking, hanging, and chatting.
Start saying unofficial Ms. Raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? I check my Discord messages, and he's
That's
messaging
right,
me.
Simon.
He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited.
Oh.
EMS. I waited so long for this, etc. And basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him.
Oh God.
That's literally it. I had higher viewership.
Yeah, the ego is
Like I said,
just
this is during an
dripping.
event, so there were drops. Like everyone knows when there's drops, like it's not even fucking real.
I will, Simon. Don't worry. You'll be the you'll be the little peons in my Discord, making sure all the people don't say slurs and get me canceled. Oh wait, or get my Discord taken down, and making sure no one in there is saying mean things about me. I'm gonna hire you on as my my guard.
He starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then
That's just
I'm
crazy
still
to me.
live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so
Oh, yes. Thank you, Deadly Duke. I appreciate it. Now we are one away. I repeat, one away. Thank you. Thank you, Deadly.
out of that house, if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room, he intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud
Hold on. While she's on fucking stream?
that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it
Jesus
so hard and so many
Christ.
times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done.
Dude, absolute fucking ego.
Like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that.
It does sound like a child
Well, I don't know what to do
when they don't get their McDonald's.
streams that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours to finish the stream. Do my best to just like
That's nuts.
carry on
I am just fucking this all up.
the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad.
Oh, am I way too full?
It was,
Oh,
like,
I know what I need to do.
Snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him.
Yeah, sociopath
And
shit.
during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of,
I'm fucking this up. We're gonna do this.
I mean, it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream.
I only talked to ever, so she was isolated. I'm not gonna be an armchair psychologist, but I would say that's a sign.
So, I mean, it was just it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move, because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it. Right? Does that make sense?
True. Yep. A lot of people don't want to be able to that step of moving out is probably the hardest one, right? To be able to say, "Hey, I'm done. I want out." We were talking about it earlier. I think it was Deadly. It was talking about, you know, you never know what's going to happen, or maybe it was Red Stain.
Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited
Oh God.
this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home.
Jesus Christ. Like, this guy has to have the absolute approval from everybody. Why me? Why me? Why me? Pathetic, dude. Toxic Mr. Beast moment. Yeah, how dare Mr. Beast not choose me, Miskiff, the great and powerful.
Like, I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because
What?
I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like...
I mean, I've heard of Miskiff before then, and I've seen like things about him. I remember some video of him getting out of or coming and pulling somebody out of a car to fight them. I've heard other rumors of stuff like that happening. So, I mean, I've heard of the guy, but it's not like someone I would ever watch, right? I don't give a shit about these OTK people.
I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was, a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one
Yeah,
of the
Mischief
roommates
is
in that
cooked.
house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing?
Like these, like we hear a lot of allegations online. You know, there's allegations that are put out sometimes almost on the daily, especially when you talk about some of the more shitter communities like the ArtCC and you know, just around the internet. This is like one of the few that you're listening to it and it's like, yeah, this sounds like actual abuse.
And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, "Oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home?" And that roommate like later asked me about it, and they were like, "What the fuck was that? Like, are you okay?" And I was just like, "Oh, it's nothing," because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them.
I agree,
Because
Red Stain. I agree. Most of the time, nothing ever
and
happens.
social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically. I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar. Was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car.
Bro admitted to most of the things she says, and people are still on his lap. I mean, that's the thing with these parasocial audiences. It's always like that, right? It's very hard to get the audience. People will absolutely defend Misgift. Now, when it comes to like the greater community, I think like he's definitely going to be ousted from like the OTK people if he wasn't already. He'll probably lose some other stuff. Yeah, the plushie abuse is just like the things he was trying to come up with. From what I haven't seen the entire thing, but a few of the things that I saw him like trying to defend with, I was like, really, bud? Like that's what we're talking about?
And grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they were like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing that I'm waiting to see, Deadly, is like it's pretty real. Some of the people's pros swept for this guy too. The rot will be deep, and he's already talked about coming out with stuff on everyone. So all the deep dark secrets of OTK are about to start getting thrown all around the internet. A lot of people like Jack Doherty, Logan Paul, and people like Mischief should have been bullied out of the internet. Yeah, but instead they became incredibly popular, probably mostly amongst kids.
And then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like,
That's not. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
publicly. like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do. And I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway. So, but yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change, and like
They always do.
like kind of present like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean,
Well, that's going to be the thing. Like it's going to be twisted all around by people who want to defend him. Whether I don't know if he has any streamers that are going to be willing to jump on his back with this, but yeah, there's always going to be people that are going to just not believe. I mean, let's talk. We talk about the anti-wokers all the time. You can have definitive proof in front of them, and they'll still say that they're right or you're wrong or anything like that. It doesn't matter. In a lot of those cases, people just want to like their favorite streamer
now. And when that happened,
or defend their friend regardless of how terrible their actions.
I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally it's like on his terms, so that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him.
Dude, this guy is gonna get.
So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with.
Sure.
But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And, instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying, without, checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know.
Yeah, I'm there with that. Like, here's the thing. It moved to kissing. This one doesn't have as much weight to me. She may say more that changes it. Like, he took the next step, and she says aggressively. I guess it depends on how aggressive that is. But he also stopped the moment she had a reaction. So I don't know that I would consider this essay. Maybe there's more to it than that, but I mean, if he makes the advance and you don't say no immediately and you're kissing and things go, then, you know, where is the essay if he said no? Or if she said no and he jumped off? Like, am I just missing it? Am I missing something that I didn't see? Let's re-listen.
And I screamed.
Okay, she.
Of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot.
Yeah, I think that's like definitely the wrong move, right? Because she's not. He's trying to dip in on the emotional sense. So yeah, I think that's scummy. So let's keep going.
And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and
yeah, I mean, I don't think this would even fall under yeah, I mean, you shouldn't do it while someone's crying. I absolutely agree with you. He was definitely looking for sex, not to worry about her emotional, you know, stance. If she thought it was SA, you're right. Why are the cops called in this specific situation? And when it comes to like the apologizing part, like I get it. Yes, he should have apologized. I don't know if like did he ever call back and apologize? Probably not. So this one falls a little flat for me on like full on SA. It sounds like, yes, it all depends on what we're talking about when she says aggressively putting the hands down his pants. Like they were making out and I guess he felt like he wanted to take the next step and then he left her there crying. Scumbag behavior, but I don't know that it's full on SA.
I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things.
To me, when it comes to like the SA allegations, there has to be the no, something that indicates the no, right? It doesn't have to be verbal. It can be, you know, pushing him away. It can be shit screaming. Her screaming was kind of an indication of what's going on. Anything like that. But it's his reaction to the no that matters. Does he keep trying? Did she tell him no while they were making out? Did, you know, what was said that constituted breaking her consent? I think when she screamed, she clearly is making that the consent was like, this is not what she was looking for. And he got up and he left. Yeah, it's fucking mean that he didn't say sorry for that, and it's clear that he didn't really give a shit about her emotional feelings. He was just trying to get his dick wet. But it's, to me, the line is, she said no with the scream, he stopped.
Together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, you know, he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me.
Oh yeah, that's fucking cope.
People or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you.
Yeah, I mean, everything else is fucking abhorrent, abusive behavior. Like, why would you feel the need to coach her into telling people not to say that you abuse her if you aren't abusing her? That would seem like a natural thing for people to just not do, right? It's just natural to not go for it. I guess I'm simping. It's okay. When you're hearing, so the thing is anytime you're hearing all these allegations and stuff like that, the very first part, all the abuse, the verbal abuse, the physical abuse, things like that, it's raw. It gets you, you know, you end up hating, my colony's about to burn down. It gets you in that mindset of like, okay, everything this guy does is bad. But I try, and I fail at this all the time. You've seen it so far when I replied to you. But you have to still try and pull it apart and be like, was this really SA? And you might disagree with me. Other people might disagree with me. But I just don't see it as such, right? If you took all the other stuff away, yeah. The legal standard is emphatic on consent, right? Not American. Oh, you're not American. Yeah, generally it's along the lines of consent. Was the consent broken? And you know, there's it's definitely more detailed than that. I'm no expert at it, but in most situations, yes. If it's fucking, if you say no and they keep forcing on it to it, and then there's caveats to that. Like if you say no at the beginning and you say yes later, that doesn't mean you gave consent, depending on what the person's actions were between that stage. But it sounds like he thought with the kissing and everything else that he had consent, and then he might have been too aggressive in going to the next stage, but she made her stance well known, and he cut it off. That's my view of that. Guy's still a fucking scumbag, and especially if he's going around doing this whole "don't tell people that I abuse you, don't tell people I abuse you" coaching. He's worse off with all of that allegation. You don't need to bring this allegation that someone can pick through and be like, oh, but is it really, right? Everything else is abhorrent so far. Especially since she seems to have the backing of friends. Yeah, I only hit you once because I love you so much, right? It sounds like she has the backing of friends who are going to go with it. My safe understanding is that someone can say yes 99 times prior. On the 100th time she says no, consent withdrawn, abort mission, evacuate the submarine. Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure that's kind of the way it goes, right? You can get all the way down to everything, but if you go for the butthole and she says no, don't continue on the butthole, right? But yeah, so in this case, she said yes several times, at least physically. Whether mentally she was in the state of mind that she wanted to say yes or not, or if she was just going with the flow. She said she still liked him at the time. You know, it's really hard to end those type of relationships easily. It takes time. She clearly said no, and he stopped.
around
Personally, I don't care if he apologized to her or not. I mean, it's a scumbaggy thing to do. You should apologize for it, but that doesn't change the actual actions for me.
the same time, this was during
Good to see you too, bud. How you been?
OnlyFans too, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
Because you probably were.
Like I said earlier,
Shit.
like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to
Jesus. This is oh, now they're fighting. Fuck me. Jesus Christ, really? Where's my other guy? Get the fuck up and fight some of this fire. Where are my slaves at? Oh, one of them is freaking out. The other one, fight the fire, dum-dum. Why are y'all fighting each other? The grifter's fighting at the shed while it burns down. Yes, good analogy. Now that they're done beating each other up, they're going to try and put out the fire, even though it's probably too fucking late. Fire foam poppers. It's like watching an anti-woke tuber arguing. But yeah, I agree, Collective. The one thing that sticks out to me is him telling her what to say, how to say she should feel. I think what's caused her to go public. Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like she was getting constant abuse. All right, okay, you need to get the fuck out of that. Get the fuck out of that building. It's fucking 1,300 degrees in there. Just y'all back away, back away. Back away. Jesus Christ. That's doomed. Y'all go over here. We're gonna erase some of this because that shed is a dunzo. We will try and fight fires where we can to protect the crops. Sorry, I have to do a Rimworld pause because my fucking pawns decided to go ape shit. One of them is a pyromaniac. The one who did it is a pyromaniac. This is just true. All right, it looks like it might be settled.
But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And
yeah, the absolute, like, he is so sensitive to her numbers. He's so insecure that she could possibly have a bigger audience than him or do better than him in anything. It's so fucking sad. Oh, thank God for the rain.
show some of those messages.
I wonder who else knew about Miskiff's scumbag behavior and didn't say anything. Yeah, there's probably a lot. Yeah, too many.
Because obviously a lot of these things, yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to, like, kind of...
Alright, we're probably gonna need to. Let's...
show what I'm saying.
This is gonna be... Let's see here. How can I not tank as warrior in how can I not tank as warrior in dungeons? Because you aren't a tank. When I said I don't want to be a tank, I meant I don't want to be a tank in raid, which is still true because I don't know what I'm doing. You do not need to tank in dungeons. So now I'm going to get so much shit nonstop. Don't ever pull aggro. Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't have anything, Emmy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's got a folder and stuff like this to just kind of like show it. And so far from what I've seen, Miskiff hasn't shown anything besides pictures of a fucking rabbit cage.
And I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if
Emmy is better, Emmy this. I can't have anything, Emmy, you just take. I don't understand what you want me to do. Not tank. Just that simple. What the fuck does that mean? You already played warrior when I told you we're going to get compared. Don't pull. I'm going to pull aggro because I'm a warrior. No, you're not. Another warrior can tank. What the fuck, dude? Look at this little bitch. Man, Miskiff sounds like an absolute incel loser. Yeah, no shit. Like, really? You're upset that she's tanking or she's doing the same class as you? He sounds like a sociopath. You're not the first one to say that on this stream. He's way too comfortable. Yeah, agreed. Well, I mean, who's going to go against him? It sounds like most people were too afraid to even say anything.
if, you know, you want to read this later, that's fine, I guess.
I didn't have another warrior in any of my groups today, and no warriors wanting to join. Girl with 27k couldn't find a warrior. You can every time. You just don't want to tank. Or you just want to tank. I know what you're doing right now. I'm not dealing with it. There were no warriors asking to join, and why is it bad for me to pull in dungeons? Because now I'm going to get compared nonstop. Because now people are just going to say you're better. Because I told you this is when you're. Because I told you this when you first told me you wanted to play warrior, and it's already happening. And you just don't care about this stuff ever. There's no boundaries with you. Jesus. Also throwing this flex out here. I'm your 100th sub. Did you sub to it? Hell yeah. Hold on. Or are you about to do it? It hasn't come through yet. If you're my 100th sub, I thank you. We have reached the goal. I can't wait to get excited when it comes out. When it pops in.
And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and see me trying to deal with.
Dude, when you're partnering up with your and you don't matter who's better or what class you use, all that matters is you win the damn dungeon. Agreed. And I mean, there's guys out there, there's tons of guys out there that would love to have a girlfriend who just plays the game with them, right? And actually likes playing. Because you'll get the girls that are like, well, you know, I'll try it because you're doing it, but they're not really into the game. He had it, but he's scared people are going to make fun of him for her being a better tank. Dude, don't dude me. That's always good. I asked for one thing with you. Don't be a tank. And now you're tanking. What can I do? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Don't tank. Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank, Emmy. Do it. Let me handle all the hate. Jesus Christ. He's so audience captured, too, that anyone says anything mean about him. He's probably the kind of guy that, like, reads all the comments on any fucking YouTube videos he puts out. Or I don't know if he actually clips up his shit or not. It's just, like, it's fucking bitch behavior. He's mad that she's making more money and has more recognition. Sounds like a certain guy who lives in a garden shed.
While I'm live in the middle of trying to just play the fucking game.
Tank, Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than Emmy. The Emmy is so much better. Who gives a fuck? Fuck them. Play into it, man. People love when you play into shit like that. The comparison, since nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you to not become a tank, and you didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. This, yeah, 5-year-old behavior.
Oh, fuck, I think
That one you already showed, sweetheart. He is only numbers, no soul. Imagine you get a so that it's into what you are into this much. Yeah, I agree. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna get popular. I'm happy to hit 100 people on here, but I swear to God, if I get like this dude, like I need some of y'all who are the old hats now just to fucking call me out. Like it's absolutely insane. No, you're supposed to put hotels down in Monopoly. It's gonna cost me more money.
The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic. What was I
she's reading it now.
I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah.
Apparently it was better than him.
Yeah, yeah, you can, read that later, I suppose, if, yeah, like I said before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because...
I don't know. They're not that old. Maybe in their 30s now?
To hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
He would get his career back. The dude was falling off, and that's what he was fucking pissed off about. That says it all right there. He's fucking pathetic. He was watching his numbers drop. Emiru has stayed popular. No one likes Miskiff. Poor Miskiff.
That was like started within the last couple of weeks.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he thought it was over.
He started
it is more cringe and soy.
To me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who to this day has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and
of course.
It was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream."
I just searched it up. Miskiff is 30 and Emiru is 27. Jesus. Still young bucks in the, the prime of their life. But here they are. Jesus.
Any of you. And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages.
Bye, bud.
And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer.
The whole world hates you at only 30.
I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him. And I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know,
Nope, not with a guy like
be fine
that.
with
That's
each
for
other.
certain.
So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that.
Gen Z drama is wild.
About a week later,
Agreed.
instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young.
Is that the whole reason he went to Japan?
relationships.
Because he got like into shit in Japan for climbing on a tree that YouTubers were getting shit for climbing on. So like that's the only reason you go. You don't actually want to go to Japan. You just need the viewership. Like that's pathetic.
And it was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him. So it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chance.
Yeah, I saw that collective where they had issued a statement saying they're supporting Emiru following her allegations. Blackmail I haven't heard yet, but well, no, I guess he kind of has in a way, but maybe there's more to it. Yeah, I kind of expected that. They don't in any sense want to seem like they're on the wrong side, and I'm sure they would probably like to stay out of it. But it sounds like a lot of the members already knew this was coming down the pipeline.
Chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So
Yeah, I
I've
don't.
not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But you think that's the end? It is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times.
Okay.
Times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls.
Fucking, that's insane behavior. Her sense of danger is cooked. Yeah. This is like ruined for the next guy. Oh, more evidence. What I like to see.
First,
Okay, let's do this. Opening. Oh, no, not opening. Reading. I couldn't read that, darling.
First it starts simple, be confusing messages, or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
Oh, I'm missing them because I'm not paying attention. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit. I was trying to look at something. Can we see this first one? Yeah, that one we can't see. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own org? I just wanted to be okay with him. And when was this? February 23rd of this year? So she hadn't talked to him until January. He was still with OTK up until this point, so it's very recently that he's been dropped. I thought he was dropped like last year. I just wanted to be okay with each other, and I feel with our streams and lives, we shouldn't have this feeling. I came home and feeling terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone and just know what's happening. Can you please respond? I understand and will just leave you alone, but I really would appreciate it if we can talk. I won't text you again after this. Yeah, that was probably a lie, and I really don't want to talk, but I really want to talk if possible. And there's the I will leave you alone. I won't text you again after this. And then immediately texts her after this. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I can't just not message you. But you just said you wouldn't message her. I still care about you. If you need to talk, I'm here. I'm so sorry shit like this happened. I'll be up all night if you need to talk. Can we please talk, Emmy? I'm so sorry for what I said. Can we talk tomorrow? Hey, I found out you weren't invited to the party. I know you wouldn't want to go, but I didn't do invites. You were invited, of course, and I hope you're doing okay and one day we can talk. Emmy, can we please talk? Jesus Christ. I really need to tell you things. I'm so sorry for the past few months. I'm so sorry for so much that happened. I need this time to be alone, but I really love you so much. I just needed to know we're stalker behavior here. Alone, and I learned I needed you. I don't want to be without you. I regret so much hurt you, and I left. But I know I needed it. Yeah, it's fatal attraction type shit. I really need to tell you things. I'm so sorry for the past few months. I'm so sorry for oh, that's the one we just read. I learned I needed you and I don't want to go without you. Yeah, you need her because she'll basically say anything you want. Please call me. I haven't stopped thinking about you in months. I know what I want, and it's you and only you. Yeah, but holy fuck. Gonna find that fucking rabbit on the stove, right? I've been nothing but miserable without you. I love you, Emmy, and if you take me back, I want us to be a real relationship. I want us to go on dates, to live together, to plan our lives. Yeah, this is just like desperation. I just want so much with you. Please just hear me out. I wrote out a lot of how I feel. I've been writing so much. I learned so much about myself. Yeah, this screams, I'm better now. I went to therapy. Massive red flags. You're right. Please, just please, you can hear me out. I love you so much, Emmy. I've been crying every night without you, and I'm sorry I've done any of this. I've been so depressed without you. Please call me. I'll be up. I will do anything for you. I will come home from Japan right now for you. Can you answer me, Emmy? Just at least tell me you moved on. And if she answered, he wouldn't stop there if she said she moved on. He would then keep going. Hey, would you be willing to talk? No, she wouldn't be willing to talk. She hasn't talked to you this entire time. At this point, we're getting into May, and he started this in February. So he's regularly messaging her over the course of 3 months, or about to be 3 months. No, I'm sorry, 4 months. Fuck me. Hey, I know it's been a while. I just wanted to say that I'm going back to Austin next week, and I think that Just texting you to let you know that I'm wanting for you to apologize for saying no to me. He needs a call, Ron Coleman. I'm gonna be also doing a lot of collabs, and I know you've been doing a lot of collabs lately, and I feel that we should be amicable with each other so it's not weird, because yeah, that's just what they want to do, is get on a fucking stream together. That wouldn't be weird at all. Because we're both now doing a lot of clubs, and I feel like I would be really weird considering we're both also in the same, or that we're just not talking to each other at all and have zero communication. I want to come back for us at least be. See the part on the right? Where is that? I wonder how he would have reacted if she would have blocked him. That's an interesting thing to come up to. What do you see on the right? Silent Hill F? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know you've been doing a lot of collabs. Yeah, absolutely. So he's been watching her streams, possibly.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Nope. Really weird considering both of us. Okay, I don't need to talk to you about anything in terms of the relationship. I just want to talk to you in terms of business. Oh, okay. Now we're moving it back. They're moving that goalpost back. It's not about I love you and need you. It's about it's business now. We're just talking business. So it's either that he loves her so much and he's sorry for all of the abuse, or hey, I just need to make a comeback and I need your fans back. Oh, not on the right. See the right there and the verbiage he's using. Yeah, okay. I saw it. I got it. If we in business and also just overall collaboration. So I think you should have a conversation. If you can call me sometime this week, I think that would be great. Hope you're doing well. Like, so he's been going on for months now that he misses her so much and he needs her. And then there's just this complete change in tone to, nah, it's just a business thing. I just need you to call me about business now. Like, are you serious? Does that work? If we can't communicate and we're going to continue to not talk, this is going to get weirder and weirder as we are both invited to the same things constantly, and we are both invited in Austin activities. It's just best for both of us. If you don't talk to me, I will be at places that you're at. That's what that says. How dare she collab with someone else? It should have been me and only me. If she blocked, he would have gotten physical, in my opinion. It's possible. He would have gotten physical with someone. But, I mean, there's the direct threat to, well, not direct. It's like almost implied, like, we're going to be at the same things, Emmy. We're going to, so we need to talk. You need to talk to me now. It's going to get weirder. Yeah. Yeah, he wants the streamers, so he wants to make sure him and her are close. I agree. And then on a different platform, can you please answer me? That looks like Discord. I'm sorry. Not a day has gone by in less than 4 months where your final words to me don't go, haven't echoed in my heart. I walked out your door thinking I knew. So he's the one that left. And walked out your door thinking I knew what I wanted, but I was wrong. I told myself I needed to be alone, that I had missed out, or at least he's making it sound like he's the one that walked out. I had missed out on being single so he dumped her because he was in his 30s and he wanted to fuck around. I mean, I guess you're at the find out part. You're ruining the org by pointing out I'm not perfect. That's a good way to put it. I convinced myself I needed space, freedom, distance, But the truth is, I was afraid of commitment, afraid of what it meant to truly let someone in. Everyone is beautiful and kind as you. So I tried to protect myself in the worst way. He tried to protect himself by throwing phones at her, by breaking shit, by slamming doors while she was streaming, by being mad that she was a better tank than him. Yeah, that's what all this sounds like. I said I was bored. I said a relationship would hold me back. I said I didn't want to be with just one person, but these weren't truths. They were shields. But I put up to avoid facing my fears and the parts of myself that I hadn't yet healed. And now I'm doing that and I lost you. Here's what this sounds like, right? He's got this ego where he's so mad about her being a better streamer than him, taking fans away from him, all of this other stuff. It has to be this, it has to be this, it has to be this. He thought he could just fucking leave and take all of those people with him and he would be good and he would be the bigger streamer. And when that didn't happen, if he's the one who left, like he's saying, and when that didn't happen, now he's fucking crawling back. He wants back in on someone that he thinks is easy for him to control, and she was during the relationship, and that he can use their audience to continue to inject into his, right? Oh, look, Emmy and fucking Miskiff are collabing again. This is all like manipulative behavior for his own ends. God damn, son. The last 4 months, anything online? I know this. I have been lost without you. I've missed you every single day. That's bullshit. I've cried more times than I can count just thinking about your smile, your laugh, the way you say merp, or makes those little sounds when you were happy. I even had to unfollow you at one point, not because I wanted to forget you, but because seeing you have more followers than me pissed me off. Reminded me so painfully of how badly I messed up. I love you, Emmy. I always have. I know now I never stopped. I know our times together was far from perfect. My mental health weighed heavily on us both. Yeah, now you're just okay. All right. What he's doing here is using his mental health as a fucking crutch, and I can't stand this shit. You know? He's trying to make it sound like he is taking accountability for his actions, but he's really not. He's trying to play it off, well, it's just my mental health. That's why I threw the phone at you. That's why I talked a lot of shit and things like that. And there can be like it can be part of the reason, but your mental health is still your responsibility. Are you the one going and doing things that are actually helping you stay with people? I can't stand when people use their mental health as a crutch to avoid criticism. I'm calling to inquire about your car's extended abuse warranty. That's fucking great. Yeah, he's not owning, he's excusing. So, I mean, you see it all the time. It's why I hate like the vast majority of, I don't hate, hate's the wrong word. I dislike the vast majority of like the online mental health group because one, you can get into a lot of fakers, and then there's just a lot of crazy shit like it's your mental health, you should, just you have to be doing like if someone's going to stay with you for your mental health and the bad things you do. Did I just fuck that all up? Oh god, how far was it? Okay, damn, I was a good ways through this. Oh god, there's more. Yeah, it's the lowest form of deflection, and it just pisses me off. It pisses me off almost every time. Here we go. Please. Yep. And then we're into. Here we go. Someone trying to use the stop talking taking the meds excuse. Yeah, yeah. Or you can do it on your own, or things like it's if someone's going to stay with you, and listen, I don't hinge on anybody. I don't blame anybody who can't deal with that relationship and have to leave, right? When it comes to mental health, because that's a hard thing to go through. People don't have full control, right? But and even if they are doing the things they need to do, that's a long, hard road, sometimes a lifetime road. And not everyone is strong enough to stay with someone who is like that. So I give like credit to people who are able to stay with it. The problem with that is there's a fine line between what is you sticking through their mental health and what is abuse. Like, it's very obvious he wasn't doing anything weird, or not anything weird. He was doing a lot of weird shit, but he wasn't doing anything to fix his mental health, right? He was just endlessly doing it. The mental health excuse, it's such an oof. Like, I have crippling depression. I don't abuse my audience and others. I just don't produce videos like I should. Yeah, right? It's there's so many things that you can talk about with that. And around that, it's just using it as an excuse is fucking worthless. It's weird because the streamer pie is endless. No matter how many slice people take, you got to be a psycho or at least hide it. This. You got to not be a psycho or at least hide it. True, true. I say that people really don't need to know your mental illnesses and the things you're going through. The only people that need to know about your mental illnesses or mental problems are the people that are in your direct family, your direct collective group, people who actually give a shit about it. No one needs to know about your endless list of mental disabilities or how riddled you are with them. No one on the internet gives a shit about you. Find people in the real world who do. Or if you can't find people who do it, go to the doctors. They'll at least try and take care of you. Our system sucks. It sucks a lot, but at least try that route and keep looking until you find good people. Asmund should really consider his mental health and relationship with his audience. Yeah, I think there's a lot of YouTubers and streamers and people like that out there that could probably use a little therapy, a little counseling or something like that. There's a wife who knows 30% of their partner's mental disorders. Yeah, true. Okay, let's see here. Clearly, I know without a shame, you are the love of my life. Yeah, like this is after the fact love bombing. This is after the fact love bombing because love bombing worked the rest of the time. To try and like, listen, I love you so much, I'm gonna change. I'm a new man now. Every night we spent watching shows, every silly conversation about cheddar. Every time I wanted to walked into your room as you were about to go live, I cherished it all. You brought color and joy to my life in ways that I didn't fully appreciate until I lost you. And I hate that I let fear, pain, and pride blind me to how lucky I was to have you. Well, bud, I'm going to have to tell you this. You just need to be better for the next one, right? Go get help and be better for the next one. Amy, if you still have any space in your heart for me, I would spend the rest of my life making things right, loving you the way you've always deserved to be loved, this time fully. I am leaving for LA, but I won't make it work, but I want to make it work with you. I would make it work with you, even if we can start small. It's always been Matt and Emmy, and it still could be if you'll have me, Matt. Yeah. Yeah, self-reporting is cancer to actual help every time it resets the stigma of it in general. Did he just send a picture of her? Tagged you in a reel. Really? Really? Can we please talk while you're here? A simple conversation would go very far for both of us. The lack of communication is very confusing. How is the lack of communication confusing? It's fucking means no. She's just not, she doesn't want anything to do with you. It's just simple. Stop messaging. Parents, maybe, if you're young. Yeah. The lack of communication is very confusing. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. And this is in May, so this is like after some of the stuff we've just seen. Like, I'm watching your videos, or I'm posting videos on you. Can we please, what is this? Snapchat or so? Oh, it's Instagram. Can we please talk while you're here? Wow, he was looking for her little dot that says she was there. A simple conversation would go a long way for both of us. This is the same one. Gotcha.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying.
Jesus.
And, just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message. Because, doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the ChatGPT checker.
Oh, God.
All the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
That's funny. I wrote my apology and love letter to you with ChatGPT. Oh, man, can you get any more pathetic? Oh, I don't know. People are dumb.
Yeah. Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things, or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course.
I mean, yeah, he was trying to use any message.
In-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication, and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events. And
yes, Simon, we finally got to the AI apology.
I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going.
So, dude, I don't know why it didn't come through. War, you and I both have the first thought. The second was we saw GPT. I mean, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. So it is true. Collective is my 100th subscriber. So we have reached the goal. I don't know why it didn't come up in Streamlabs, but thank you for reaching 100 for me, and for everyone who watches me, even my small little group. We are going to keep moving up as fast. Well, I don't care. Slow and steady is my thing. What I don't want to do is get injected like some of these guys from bigger anti-woke YouTubers. But thank you for just the 100 I got. That's pretty amazing to me. It makes me feel good. Gets a little bit of that tingling. So now I have the addiction.
Same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person, because this was after he came back from his first.
Yeah, I gotta know, this does, like, and she said it a couple of times, and I haven't really made note of it. It does suck. They're in such a small circle of people that she almost can't avoid him. He's going to show up at some of these parties. They have people that they're, connected with. It's got to be like that. It's got to be worse. Like, it can happen in small. What a pause. It can happen in small groups, right? Where one of you can't hang out with the group anymore, or it splits the group, or it's just awkward. But I couldn't imagine amongst all of these people where it's all about collabs and business too, that you're stuck with with this. It's like don't even fuck your fellow streamers that you do business with. It's just bad business.
Trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went no contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right?
You thought wrong.
During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I
what a
thought that I was
surprise.
being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and
I use the run text to my ex through ChatGPT because my dyslexic ass keeps fucking it up. Hey, let's watch the dyslexia allegations. Yeah, most adults act like children more than kids. I agree.
Catchy and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to
oh no.
get up there because
serious arrested development going around.
And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs.
He probably was. It doesn't necessarily mean
our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door.
Jesus.
Makes eye contact.
Thanks, Deadly. Thanks.
Ooh. And then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go.
Jesus Christ.
Checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing. And then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow.
That's crazy behavior. That's fucking unhinged behavior.
That's good to know, I guess. The next story,
oh damn, two
I want to
traitors.
tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna
Yeah.
earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier.
Okay, I remember that.
That was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Deadly. Don't mix work and pleasure. It just doesn't work out. And yeah, sometimes you just have to be the one to leave, you know, and separate yourself from the situation. Because it doesn't, most of the time it doesn't get better, right? Most of the time it doesn't get better.
Where was I? Yeah, so, yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are going to talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to...
Any chance to talk about her.
We were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Senna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself.
Oh, no.
One that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty, because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird. It puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, it gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time, because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as, like, the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand, it's still very scary, but why are you acting like if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor.
Wow, calling him out.
She is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff. I was obviously panicking, like, I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was, like, huge, like, public, millions of people seeing it, and then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff, and I'm, like, crying, and Senna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm, like, panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like, these different people that I was like, they can contact him, because I did not want to contact him. So, Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it, and he just wanted to be able to keep talking, because, yeah, anyway, just a little note.
No surprise
I don't
there,
know
really.
exactly what, like, the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, you know, girls go through. Was that your job?
Well, you're getting to talk about your ex and what a hero you were.
Yeah, that all happened a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline. So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed the next day.
1 out of 10, do not recommend.
Going live, trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips. After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. He went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting, calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And, I mean, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year.
I mean, if this is true, I don't know if she's going to show evidence of this, but like the behavior gets more and more unhinged as we go. Like, she could end up dead if he got a hold of her fucking unhinged. It's just absolute craziness.
And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year.
Oh no.
Fucking no, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that.
Holy fuck, yeah, toxic ex-boyfriend.
And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you couldn't see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if like, I mean, people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of those messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters. It's just interesting.
It's just funny. Right? It's hilarious that he would be using ChatGPT.
Since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago is when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been like, you know, telling people things, which again, I wasn't going out of my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started like fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers
Hold on.
a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon.
So that was a repeat of herself, but it's still insane that even with her saying this beforehand, he flat out comes out and tries to use the rabbit as an excuse of why she's such a terrible person. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, the rabbit is going to deflect all the other shit, right? Everything else.
He went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever that means. And
it means he's weak. He's a pathetic man.
And he would have known that I would have been with this girl.
You know, it's sad. A lot of this type of stories of abuse sound so horrible in real life than they do in fiction. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, you get that connection with fiction, right? Or that disconnect with fiction that you don't get with real life. Like, this is a person in the real world that is going through it. Now, I want to preface it with this. Emiru is a very rich person with a very deep and connected group, right? It's pretty much OTKs behind her, all of this other stuff. There are women and men who are going through the same things she's going through with nothing. They're home alone. They don't have a group to lean back on. No one's telling them things. Sometimes they're being painted as the bad guy amongst friends groups, and there's nothing they can do about it. So yeah, it's much scarier when you hear it coming out of a real person than you do in a book, right?
He texted her saying, "Hey, worried about her. Hope she's okay." You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this.
But some of us are glad you did.
Other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content.
So in other words, you helped him
always tried to
get away from it. Like, you helped him get over that. Worst case scenario, which I hope it doesn't happen, is Miskiff finally snapping and resorting to murder. Yes, that is something that could happen. After all of the shit that Emiru has been through, though, I would hope she has some kind of security now, right? Even with her security at the TwitchCon thing, there was stuff that happens, but you hope she at least takes the precautions. Doesn't mean it's going to stop it. Things always get by, but at least those added protections.
Had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment. And for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already. As I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information.
What are you doing, dude?
I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now, and yeah, that's my story of dealing with
Lived IR real bad, yeah.
psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on if, you know, I ever talked about it. And this whole time, it's been kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people. And Yeah. I know that me saying all of this probably isn't gonna make him or what's left of his community leave me alone. But
To be fair, there's probably part of him, like there's a part of him that's seething over all of this, right? And he wants to like he really thinks that this rabbit thing is going to be a win. But there's probably also a part of him that wants to be back in the limelight in some way. So he's hoping he can defeat Emmy and, rebuild his shattered career.
I know talking about this probably won't make him or sorry, probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone, but I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore. And it's all out there now. And I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening. And a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all, but I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, grievances with him. But
yeah, he doesn't really seem to have a very good reputation.
I did know about this. Thank you for being there for me through all of this and supporting me and cheering me on. And there were a lot of people as well who, even though they didn't know anything, without asking any questions, they still were very kind and supportive, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to put this out there and then, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both
okay,
and
good.
California.
If people knew, they should have said something. I agree with you. I agree with you, Redstain, but it is not always that easy when you are in social circles. Like, you may know, but you think everybody else is on his side. I agree with you. If something is happening, you should step up. Not a lot of people are strong enough to do that, especially against someone that they either see as a friend or as they see having some kind of authority or power. Right? If it was smaller streamers, they may not want to go up against Miskiv's audience, knowing the things that happened during the first allegations that he defended against. So I don't really necessarily want to start faulting every single person who, didn't say something, start witch hunting in that way. But yeah, there's a part of that. People should, and they're afraid to speak up. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is not an easy task to be strong enough to speak up, because sometimes speaking up means you have to go against more than just the person who's doing it. And yes, especially when you're not as famous. Yeah. A lot of people are terrified of bigger audiences. Most people, I've come to realize, can't handle, death threats online. They look too much into what everyone's saying. Their audience captured. They're just afraid because some fans are absolutely unhinged. You look at some people like Destiny, who will flat out send his audience out to dox you. And that's even the same in smaller circles. Smaller circles, it can be really hard to speak out against somebody who's doing wrong because you don't know the mindset of everyone else around there. And you don't want to be, ostracized yourself. She needs to buy some big digs and sing of Key to them and help for protection and emotional support. Yeah. And if Miskiff's friend, I would have told him to stop. You're making her uncomfortable. Yeah. But even then, when you're with your friends with somebody and they don't stop, what do you do? You could completely end your friendship with them. That may be the right thing to do, especially if they're doing insane unhinged shit like beating their significant other. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. The number one reply from Simps is, well, he has blank more viewers and subs. I hate that. That's so dumb. Like no one cares. No one cares when, well, no one should care. Obviously, there are people who do care, and somehow thinking that more subs equals that you're right. Actually, let's cancel these. All right. But yeah, that's the way of the world now. People are audience captured. People are parasocial. People just want to be loved. 50% of his audience wouldn't care or will support it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So. But I think that's the end of it.
If he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him, not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it. And I can be like, okay.
Yeah, that's probably not it. We're probably going to have more.
Not.
They're speaking out against me because they're jealous of my success. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I've been called because I'm a small fry, ankle biter, grifter. I got called a grifter by an anti-woke. I thought that was a little poetic. What's the other one that they like to use? Clout chaser, which is probably the worst one. Like everyone out here is chasing clout if you have a YouTube channel, even if it's not like you're chasing clout to be super famous or make money. If you're doing it even on a hobby size thing, you're chasing some kind of clout. Like you didn't get on the internet to do stuff in front of people to not have people to talk to.
Withholding this anymore. It's out there. And yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Definitely not how I would have liked to spend my Saturday. I would have loved to go to karaoke with my friends.
Sometimes I'm glad I'm a contrarian loner. It helps for calling shit out. Yeah.
Right, guys? Yeah, I think that's it. I'm probably gonna take some time off.
Jeff accused you of clout chasing? After I told him that I wanted his audience and remembered how he went on everybody's videos begging them to watch his sports game. Media training needs to be a thing for big streamers. You got to be careful. Celebs are insular for a reason. Yeah, I agree. She was provoking me. I only acted inappropriate to the situation. Yeah, I only threw my phone because she was provoking me. She was, she just needed a lesson real quick on where she stands. Insane stuff with these allegations. I think we're pretty much done. She's pretty much done with this. Yeah, we're right at the end. Yeah, that pretty much says it. Tomorrow I will be streaming. I'm changing. Like I don't normally stream on Tuesdays, but I'm going to start streaming on Tuesdays because Mondays things just changed with family and stuff like that. So it's a little bit harder to, and I think I'm just finally making the switch. So Tuesday and then Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday are going to be my streaming times, and maybe Sunday now since I'm not doing it on Monday. I might do like a 3 in a row. But anyways, I think we are going to call it here a little early. I'm going to look up some more of the stuff. If you have anything else you want me to watch or you think I'm interested in, I love a variety of slop. Down below is my Discord. If you you know, if you have anything you want me to watch, go in there. There's a channel called Feed the Pig. Put it in there. I'll take a look at it. And if it catches my interest, we'll watch it on stream, talk about it, and go from there. Yeah, peace out, buddy. I'll see all of y'all tomorrow for Misgift's response and probably some of the other stuff that comes up. Later.